The triple digits continue for the Valley. The Momcast mom!
Us moms are getting real sick and tired of these triple-degree temperatures, Krystle.
Don't shoot the messenger. I promise it's gonna change.
When, Krystle? If I have to fire up these tablets one more time, Target has had Halloween decorations up for a month!
Okay, I'll tell you when. I promise. Coming up now on Momcast.
Welcome everyone to Momcast. I am your host, Emma Jade. You have probably caught yourself saying a time or two or 12, this is the hottest summer ever. We set countless records this year, including the most days over 115 degrees. We've got meteorologist Krystle Henderson with when we can finally expect to spend a nice day outside with the family. But until then, because it's still going to be hot this week and next week, we've also got a teacher turned entrepreneur who has 3 easy indoor activities that you can do today with your kids inside. It's all happening on Momcast, but first, let's catch you up on the news. More and more school districts are now suing TikTok, YouTube, Snapchat, Facebook, and Instagram over mental health concerns. We're up to at least 10 school districts in Arizona, joining hundreds across the country, more than 600 in fact, all taking action and suing these major social media companies for intentionally designing their platforms to maximize the time users, particularly their younger users, spend on them, despite knowing that social media harms young people. In our largest school district's complaint, that's Mesa Public Schools, they allege that the popularity in social media directly correlates to a rise in suicide rates along with depression and anxiety. We'll be sure to have a larger Momcast episode on this lawsuit and what schools here in Arizona hope come from it. Well, kids are finally back in the classroom over at Zaharis Elementary. The Northeast Mesa school was shut down for an entire week after that massive monsoon storm rolled through, ripping the roof off of many parts of the school. According to teachers there, 30 of 32 classrooms were damaged, including their treasured library. So Zaharis is a bit of a different elementary school. They have a very heavy focus on reading. So having so many of their books damaged is a huge loss. Cleanup does continue, but kids are finally back in the classroom. Okay, I got a few money headlines for you. First up, student loan bills. They're about to restart. They paused back in March of 2020 during the pandemic, but expect your first bill to come back in October. There's going to be a 12-month period of on-ramp repayment, so that basically means if you miss a payment in that first year, penalties won't be as severe. Okay, some more money headlines for you. Gas prices in AZ are ridiculous. We're sitting at around $4.70 a gallon, which is actually up 40 cents from a month ago. But have you also noticed that olive oil is a little bit more expensive? Extremely dry weather in the Mediterranean is to blame here. The average price for olive oil was up 130% more than last year. Something to remember next time you head to the grocery store. Speaking of some pretty hot temperatures, we have had a very hard summer. I'm heading over to our interview with Krystle Henderson, who has a lot to answer here. But as I walk, check out another tip from our favorite child and parenting therapist, Amy Anger, known as The Real Parent on Instagram. This is a phrase that she hopes we never say to our kids. And yes, I have said it multiple times, but what she wants us to say to them instead. Check it out. I'll meet you on the other side.
Have you found yourself in a situation where your child does something frustrating? We might be talking toddlers, we might be talking teens. They do something frustrating that leaves you wondering what on earth they were thinking, and quite frankly, leaves you a little speechless. You might feel the impulse to say, "What is the matter with you?" I have to admit that the phrase, "What is the matter with you?" is at the very top of my list of I really get a pit in my stomach when I hear a parent saying that to a child. Here's why. When you say to a child, "What is the matter with you?" The implication is, we know there's something wrong with you. What is it? And that just builds this internalized sense of shame in your child. Instead, when you find yourself in one of those situations that leaves you throwing your hands up, say to your child, help me understand. Help me understand how that seemed like the best idea. Help me understand how you came to make that choice. Help me understand what I can do to help you make a better choice next time. When you say, what's the matter with you? What were you thinking? Your child then feels shame, and that shame overpowers them being reflective and thoughtful about, what was I thinking? How did I get there? But when you take them to a reflective place of help me understand, they can reflect on their behavior.
Again, that was Amy Anger. You can find her on Instagram with more tips. The hottest summer ever. We can officially say that, by the way. June, July, and August were the hottest 3 months ever recorded on Earth, according to the World Meteorological Organization. In Arizona, we pulled our weight. Meteorologist Krystle Henderson is here. Krystle, it is officially fall now, but we had the hottest summer on Earth.
Yeah.
You're here to tell me, though, that when it comes to triple-digit temperatures, that was actually pretty normal.
Oh yeah, the triple digits aren't the thing that's bananas and grab your attention. Let me show you.
Okay, let's see the graphics.
So we're not quite done actually counting up the triple digits,
know.
though we're entering into fall. So the average last date for triple digits in Phoenix, October 5th. The record latest, October 27th. So there's still time to tack onto this tally. So through Tuesday, we counted up 113, which is a couple tick marks higher than our yearly quota. So we are above average, but hey, I can promise you we are not taking on that 2020 record of 145 days. Isn't that ridiculous?
That was 2020. You know, I blocked out 2020 though. That was during the pandemic.
Yeah.
We were all inside anyway.
Right.
So it's almost like we didn't really, it was kind of a nice year to have it, wasn't it?
Right.
145 though.
Yes.
But there were a ton of records that we did break.
Yes. Are you ready for it? I mean, take your pick here. From records that we set in the morning for being so warm. In fact, we set an all-time record warm morning temperature of 97 degrees. Oh my. It never dropped below 97 that morning. How about how many 110 plus days we counted up? That's a record. 55 of those suckers.
What's average for that? 110 plus?
Well, we would see about half of that.
You're kidding.
About half of that.
Okay, so you were telling me June was a really nice summer month for us.
Yeah, we were getting spoiled, and then you could see we paid the price.
We absolutely
July
did.
came in like a banger. So if you saw at the bottom of that graphic, July ended up being not only the hottest July on record for Phoenix, but the hottest month ever. So August used to hold that title for Phoenix. So this July outdid that. Oh, and by the way, see how that says hottest summer? Every temperature standard for Phoenix comes up as the hottest summer for Phoenix. So let me break that down here for you.
Okay.
So if you were to average all the high temperatures that we had this summer in Phoenix, you get 109.2. That ranks us top spot for the hottest. Now let's skip to the low temp. If you were to take all of our morning low temperatures during this summer, you average them out, you get 84.8. That ranks us the hottest. And then if you take those two numbers, the high and the low, and you get an average of all the average temperatures, well, what do you think happens here? Also, the record hottest. So it doesn't matter how you slice it, Emma. It was the hottest summer on record for Phoenix.
That is incredible. And you know what? It makes me feel good for complaining so much. Because I really did. I feel like this summer, I complained more than any other summer. I'm sure you were right there with me.
I would know better than anyone. Anytime you're in the studio. Krystle?
Tough summer because it's so tricky to entertain your kids when they're literally stuck inside because it is so hot. What does this mean for the coming months? What are we looking at?
Okay, so we've got that a couple of slides in here. This is not going to correlate to, lead us into a particular, like the hot summer doesn't lead us into a specific fall or winter, but climate prediction models for fall are hinting at, what do you, real shocker here, what do you think?
Warmer than normal.
Warmer than normal temperatures. What else is new? And also we could be drier than average or meet our typical quota. So you're looking at the latest drought monitor here, which most of the state is swallowed up in that first tier.
Yeah.
And then nearly half of the state is in that next level, which is moderate. And then nearly 20% is caught up in severe drought, which you could see is wrapped around the valley.
Right.
So here's the thing, Emma. We just have a little bit more than a week left of monsoon, okay?
That's it.
And I don't have anything in the forecast for us. So that would rank us the driest monsoon on record with the official rainfall total for Phoenix Sky Harbor. That is all we pulled together. 0.15. That's like a sneeze. Now some got clocked with storms, right? We had a lot of damage. I think that's going to be the legacy of this monsoon. These storms huffed and puffed with their gusty winds, but they didn't deliver us any rain in the gauges. Right. And even though we saw lots of rain with some of the storms in the high country, still below average across the board. All of northern Arizona is below average this monsoon. Even southern Arizona and Tucson got a ton, but still below.
But we are in an El Nino year, which typically doesn't that mean we get some rain later on?
That is going to be winter, so check this out.
Okay.
This is your typical expectations for an El Nino. Keep in mind there's many pieces of the puzzle in the atmosphere. This would be one signal, and it typically promotes a wetter than usual winter. So we'd have to wait through fall to really see this kick in. And notice I said wetter, not whiter. So this could give us the moisture that we need, but we might be a little warmer as well, lending to more rain chances. So maybe higher snow levels. Again, this is just one of many pieces of the puzzle. So there could be other things that come into play. I mean, look at our last winter. It was a blockbuster winter. It totally defied expectations, and we can have that too. So we could just look at some of these things to kind of give us a little bit of a hint, but.
Something that you told me earlier today that is a little disheartening is that we have consistently gotten hotter.
Yes.
For how many years?
So check this out.
Oh, no.
You may be thinking, okay, does this record summer lead to another record summer?
Yes.
There's no correlation there. However, since 1968, every single summer in Phoenix has been above average.
Oh, Krystle.
And every 30 years, we reevaluate what that 30-year average is.
Oh, interesting.
And it, keeps going up, and we keep overachieving.
So here's to next summer. That's it, everyone. All right, so I know these temperatures have been hard. Honestly, they've been awful for us parents. Oh my gosh, it's just keeping those kids inside. We're so sick of it. We know we need to limit screen time, but when it's this hot, it sometimes seems impossible, and honestly, we just kind of surrender. At least that's what we do at my house. But I want to introduce you to a local teacher who has 3 easy, cheap, fun things that we can do indoors with our kids today.
Hi Momcast, I'm Kelsey. I'm a mom of 3, almost 4, and a teacher, and I post videos on Instagram showing people how to do fun, interactive activities with their kids. I know it has been so hot here in Phoenix, we are dying, so we've been inside trying to come up with fun things to do to keep our kids entertained and not losing their minds. So I'm gonna share with you 3 of my favorite activities that I do with my kids at home. This is one of my favorite activities. We use it all the time. All you need are toilet paper tubes, tape, and pom-poms. And what you're gonna do is you tape the toilet paper tube up to the wall, and we're gonna do it right over a bowl because girls, what are we gonna put in there? A pom-pom. You wanna drop it? Yeah. Let me do one for you, Jade. Oh, yay! Should we do 2? Yeah. Should we do another one? Yeah, they're gonna just drop it right in. Yeah, you wanna do one? We put a bowl at the bottom of this one just to make it a little bit more fun. Yeah. And for my bigger boys, what I will do is we will use more than one paper towel or toilet paper tube and set it up kind of like a trap that they can drop their pom-poms through. Okay, this is another super easy activity that my kids love, and you can change it so many ways. All you need is tape. I like to use this colored painter's tape. And the first thing that we're gonna do is I'm gonna tape it down in a line. Give me your girlies. Okay. And we're gonna put our people on it. Can we put our people on the line? Yeah. Can you line them up? They're gonna line them up. Okay, while they're doing that, I'll show you the other thing I like to do. I like to tape it this way on the ground, and we are going to do a little bit of jumping and skipping because when your kids are trapped inside, you know that they need to get all of their energy out. So here we go, girls. Are you ready? Can you bunny hop on the lines? Can you show me? Go hop. Keep going. Yay! Can you jump again? Go this way. Jump on the lines. Good. And for my older kids, we do this activity, but we turn it into an obstacle course. And we also use the tape to make a track throughout my house for them to drive their cars on. My kids love a sensory bin, and they are so much easier to make than you realize. This one, I'm using colored rice, and the recipe for that is all you need is 1 cup of rice, 1 teaspoon of vinegar, and some drops of food coloring, and I shake it up in a bag. We have a few different colors of rice for this one. I'm gonna pour it in the bin. Look at that. Oh. Yeah, look. Okay, the great thing about sensory bins is you can alter them to be whatever your kids like. So for these girls, we're doing a princess sensory bin today. So we've got some butterflies that I'm adding in. And these are just things that I had around the house. Some teacups, look at that. Some little cupcake liners and scoops. We always have to have a scoop, huh? You want a scoop? Can you scoop it in the cup? I like to add 2 or 3 different textures, so I'm gonna throw in some pom-poms. And this can get messy, but it is so worth it because it will entertain them for so long.
What I really like about your videos is that sometimes I feel like in order to entertain my kids, I need to spend a ton of money. But you have just like tiny little things that we kind of have around the house already.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because if you think about it, like there's so many times when your kids like, you know, they're playing with your pots and pans or your bowls and you're like, why do I have all these toys in my playroom and they're playing with that? Yeah. Because it really is those simple things that that entertains them and then also gives them good practice on these skills that they need to be working on anyways.
So tell me, like, if I don't have those things already, what are some things that I should be putting in my like parenting kit?
Yes. So my favorite, obviously pom-poms.
Yeah.
I use those all the time. I feel like I'm like the pom-pom queen because they can drop them in all the things. Yeah. And then I love easel paper because it's like that big paper that you can roll out and tape and let them kind of draw, explore, or make a little scene for them. And then always painter's tape because you can stick things everywhere, you know?
And you make it sound so simple. And what are the things that you think really are beneficial using just those easy items that we can get at like Home Depot or Target or at the grocery store?
Or Amazon, which, you know.
Amazon, yes.
I just think it's so easy. You can do so many different things for toddlers, especially to practice fine motor skills, which are like those skills of picking up things and building those muscles so they're ready to write when they get to kindergarten. And then with your older kids, there's so many ways to practice letters, sight words, all these different things that you can do with just a few simple tools.
Give me a little bit of background for you because you were a teacher for a while, right?
Yeah. So I taught 3rd grade and then I taught kindergarten. And then when I had my babies, I did preschool out of my home and kind of developed this curriculum that I used with my preschoolers. And then COVID happened and it was like, okay, what do we do? So I would make packets for all my preschoolers and they'd pick them up off my porch. And then that kind of just snowballed into these boxes that I make that I send out that have these activities for moms to do where they don't have to think about it. They just pull it out and they can do it.
And Kelsey, these boxes have like taken off.
Yes, it's I would have never thought like I would have a warehouse of boxes.
Because I remember when you first started and we connected, I think through just a mutual friend and we got your boxes and this was during COVID times. And I remember being like, this is a godsend. It's the simplest things, but like it really was so much fun for my kids. Now this has turned into like a whole business for you.
Yes, it's insane. Because it's so hard, I feel like as moms, like you said, to come up with activities and think about them. And this just makes it so you don't even have to think about it. They just open it up and you can connect with your child for 10 or 15 minutes in the day.
So you started during COVID. Where are you at now? Like how many subscribers do you have that come and get a box every single month? What is that like now for you?
Yeah, so we have over 1,500 subscribers that we send out to, which is insane.
All over the country?
I even checked like a couple months ago, we sent to every single state, which is insane to me.
It's so cool.
Yeah, and and I have 12 moms that work for me in my warehouse. Like they drop their kids off at preschool and they come and work for 3 hours to pack boxes. It's awesome. It's been so cool.
Could you even imagine when you first started this that it would
Never.
somehow become, I mean, it's
Never. I'm
wild.
always like, I don't know business things. I don't know how this happened.
Incredible, because you
Yeah.
really do make it so easy for parents. You open up the box and it's got everything that you could possibly need to have like a great afternoon.
Yes, because nobody wants to get out the paint, pour your paint out, and then all of a sudden it's everywhere,
What has this experience been like for you, going from teaching and then to being at home with the kids and then coming up with an idea that has now taken off?
Yeah, it's been really cool. It's been really like out of my comfort zone, So I've had to like learn how to like make decisions and be kind of like a boss on things, which is really hard for me and stressful. I'm like, I can boss around 3-year-olds and 4-year-olds. That's great. But adults, it's hard. So, I've had to learn to kind of be a little bit more confident in myself and what we're doing. So
for parents who are exhausted and so tired of summer,
yes,
there is hope. Like there are just little things that we can do.
Yeah, I think the most important thing to remember is that playing with them is the easiest way for them to learn. So you don't need to be stressed about coming up with super specific things. Just giving them the opportunity to play with these open-ended activities is just a great way for them to keep building those skills.
You can get more tips from Kelsey and check out her boxes. Just head to her Instagram page. It's at Learning with Kelsey. I think it's obvious. This has been an especially hard summer. You're doing great. I'm not, but you're doing great. We need to give ourselves a break here. Remember, the Momcast conversations do not end here. Be sure to join me during the week online. Just search Momcast on Instagram, or you can just follow me at Emma Jade TV. We'll see you right here next week on Momcast.